Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to glan-y-gors.
Oh my goodness.
Come to Wales, they said. It's going to be the summertime, they said. Weather is going to be lovely, they said. Now, the eagle-eyed viewers amongst you will have noticed that the precipitation has increased mildly over the past few minutes. However, Water Swift unrestricted. Now, I've got to say, there's a mechanic there. That is Archie Lovett's mechanic standing there. Congratulations, Mr. Lovett. You are the bravest man in Wales. Black t-shirt, black shorts, no hat. We're going to stand there. We're going to man up and get absolutely soaking wet. We haven't been given the signal to start just yet. Jack Stewart already chiming in, criticising the Welsh weather. Jack, I know you got an exam. I wish you good luck in your exam, but you are coming back to the championship. Watch what you say about the Welsh weather, young man. I've got a lot of races to commentate on you before the season is out.
The commentator's curse cannon has been on fire today, so
it has, because I was busy poo-pooing the weather forecast earlier. Now, obviously, we've got 25 drivers, John. The grid is coming there.
Oh, my goodness.
They say a picture says 1,000 words. We need to say nothing. Look at that.
My goodness. The visibility, even from our commentary box, has been reduced by about 80%, I would say, since about 10 minutes ago.
Personally, I think that James Fitzhugh for Alpha Live, our producer, needs to send Anthony Jordan out into the paddock to interview. Well, I'm glad that's not the waste pipe from the toilet block. That's all I'm going to say.
That drain has more pressure than the shower in our Airbnb last night.
Yeah. You go and stand under it by all means, John.
Be very refreshing, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're looking. Now you can see in the middle. There's the marshal, the lady, the grid marshal, in the middle of the field. They're telling it now. We've got drivers are in communication. Anthony Jordan is still down there. We can see some conversations going on between officials. Anthony, any news? Is it still raining, perchance?
Yeah, Henry, it's days like today where I really wish that I was in the commentary box. But luckily at GYG, they do have a handy little roof over my head here in Parc Fermé, so I'm quite happy. The view, however, if you can see, if we're looking at the pit lane camera that we're currently on, if the view, that doesn't look very nice. And, well, there's people in shorts out there. I don't know why. It was warm and muggy earlier, but they knew the rain was coming, but for some reason they're still in the shorts. And in fact, actually, this is a great shot. If we were on the pit lane cam, look at the people. They're stranded under the Motorsport UK awning there. Look at them there, standing there. Absolutely terrible. It's not fun out here at all. Hopefully you're enjoying the nice warm commentary box.
That was Danny Curl, 2017 CIK World Karting Champion, huddled in the holding area, in the assembly area there. I mean, do you know what? I'm really glad, John, that we've got a third. I'm really glad that Anthony's out there, but he's undercover, so I can't be that happy. What I'm doing, it does give the viewers a great perspective. You know, we're able to throw back and forth and get up to the minute information. The officials on circuit, they'll be looking, and you can see that Ken Potter there in the orange tabard, and it looks like, right, drivers are getting out of the cart. There's flashes of lightning around the place. So we're going to get undercover. The camera crews are going to come out there. Joys of being outside of you don't want to be manning a lot of electrical equipment on the side of a mountain in the middle of an electrical storm.
Yes, that wouldn't be ideal. Yeah, I think for everyone's safety and the enjoyment of everyone's lives, we're going to get them inside, try and keep them dry and try and keep the equipment dry as well. But Alpha Live have been doing an amazing job to bring you this coverage throughout today, especially as you were saying, throwing down to the pit lane has been awesome. But yeah, might be a little bit of stoppage to action for a few minutes at least. So we will keep an eye on what's going on. We will try and keep you up to date with what's happening at the circuit, but as you can see, more and more and more umbrellas coming out, and there do seem to be flashes of lightning.
Yes, indeed. And what it does mean is that we can get our money's worth out of Anthony Jordan, because all the drivers are running towards Anthony. He's going to have 25 very, very wet, soaking water Swift drivers. All the drivers need to give Anthony a big hug. But Anthony, down to you in the pit lane. What is going on? What updates can you give us?
Well, as you can see, I've got the grid here with me now because they've all decided that they don't want to take part in this race. And who could blame them, firstly, if anything? If anything, they're putting a new nickname on the word Water Swift in terms of their racing. But here we go, we've got some drivers. Hello. Right, okay, right, so we've got a couple of drivers here. Right, firstly, because you all got helmets on, I don't know who you are. I do recognise some of you, but introduce yourself to the camera. Who do we have here?
Noah Curtis.
Right, Noah, as I've just seen a lovely lightning strike out the window there. Noah, yeah, exactly, rain and lightning. Noah, what do you think of these conditions out here?
Looks fun.
It looks fun. Do you want to go racing or do you want to wait until it stops?
I want to race.
You want to race, there we go, that's one for race. Right, Finley lines that we have here, Finley. Right, so do you want to race in these conditions or do you want to wait for them?
Definitely want to race.
You definitely want to race in these conditions. Okay, that's two mad drivers. That's 2-for-1 so far. Right, who do we have here?
Luca Narroway.
Luca Harrow. Right, Luca, would you like to race in these conditions, yes or no, or do you want to wait for the sun to come out?
I want to race.
You want to race. That's 3 for race so far. This is terrible decisions. Right, who do we have here?
Jensen Ackerman.
Right, Jensen. Right, okay. Do you want to race in these, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm not winning here. I think no is the correct answer that we want on here. Blimey. Right, okay, who do we have here?
Ethan Weldon.
Ethan Weldon. Ethan, right. Yes or no to racing in that?
Definitely.
Okay, they're all insane here. They're not old enough to know better. Right, Jesse Phillips. Right, Jesse, yes or no to racing in this?
Well, it might be a bit dangerous, but I want to race.
Okay, that started off well, like you say. Yes, probably not want to race in this one at the moment, but yeah, it's a bit interesting, isn't it? Who do we have here?
Aaron Richardson.
Aaron, right. So, I'm going to ask a different question here. Would you prefer to race in sunshine or in rainy conditions?
Definitely sun.
Definitely sun. There we go. No one likes the rain. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere with these answers. But as you can see here, all the drivers, they were primed, ready to go. Obviously, there's a delay to this because, again, if you turn the camera around, if you can see, if you might have to zoom out a little bit there, look at it. It's still coming down. There was a lightning strike not a few moments ago as well. It's not going well. Welcome to Wales, everyone, and British karting in the summertime. Hey, Henry, back to you. I thought you said it never rains in Wales.
It never rains, it pours. There we go. Thank you very much, Anthony, and thank you to the drivers. It's an interesting percent. The drivers want the race. The parents and mechanics who've got to stand out to watch them race are less enthused by this. But, ladies and gentlemen, what we can see now is the karts are being taken off the grid. The rain is one thing, but lightning in the area is another. We can't show you too much around there because for safety reasons, Alpha have had to take their cameras down for the time being. We joke all the time about cameras being indispensable and camera crew not, but no, Alpha, the safety of the camera crew out on circuit, as well as the marshals and all the people that have to stand out there, now it becomes paramount. So we are having a little look there at the karts going off the circuit. Anthony is in the pit lane. We've spoken to some of the drivers. We will try and get information to you as soon as we can from the race officials as to what might happen. Depending on the weather, if the thunder stops, the lightning stops, the rain starts very quickly, it could end just as quickly. Obviously, the track is going to be very, very wet, but because of the gradient levels here at glan-y-gors, there's very little standing water on the circuit. So that is the first tick in the racing box. Then there's the risk of more lightning in the area. If we look at the weather radar and we see that the radar, and they will be looking in the Motorsport UK truck with the weather radar. But Anthony Jordan is down with one of our race directors, Ken Potter, who could perhaps enlighten us a little bit further. Anthony, what do you know?
Back here in Parc Fermé in the shelter, I've got Ken Potter here, one of our race officials. Ken, what can you tell us? Rain conditions, what's been the call so far about this race? Because I'm starting to see now karts have come into the shelter. What's been the call?
Yeah, the carts are coming in now just to keep the carts dry. The drivers are allowed in, so we've cleared the grid. At the minute, we're really under the control of the weather. Safety's got to be paramount, and at the minute, we don't believe it's safe to send carts out. So we'll make a decision probably in the next 30 minutes and make some announcement.
Okay, not a problem. Cheers, Ken. Thank you very much. We'll let you get on because obviously you're very, very busy. Well, there you go. Possibly even a 30-minute delay here. The water's even coming into the weather tyres area here. My feet are getting absolutely soaked, even standing under the shelter. So certainly not the conditions that we want, but definitely very, very interesting situation we're dealing with here. Back to you, boys.
Thank you, Anthony and Ken Potter. Quite right there. Safety is paramount. I mean, you'll know, viewers will know that we have a lot of laughing and joking on this stream. Some people think it's a great advertisement for karting. Other people think, oh, it's a bit too jovial. But again, this is a lot of this. Kids out there, that they're premium athletes, but they're kids. So we try and reflect the jovial nature of the paddock on our commentary, Anthony Jordan, John Ratcliffe, and myself. But the bottom line is that the thing that none of us ever forget is the safety of the competitors. Motorsport is dangerous. You can make it as safe as possible. You can make the equipment as safe as possible. You can make what the drivers wear, the carts, the circuit, the barriers as safe as possible. But you're sending boys, girls, men, women out onto a circuit in projectiles that can go in sort of terms of the Water Swift 60 miles an hour, in terms of the KZ2 to 100 miles an hour. However, as you can see, just as quickly as the rain starts, it stops again, and we're going to go back racing. 12-minute finals from here on in. Your starting lineup for Water Swift non-restricted is George Edgar and Jesse Phillips on row 1, Archie Lovett and Will Green on row 2, Kanish Grau and Aaron Richardson on row 3, Jarlath Sayer, Max Endicott, Jensen Ackerman, Sukmani Kira, Teddy J. Porter and Archie Owen round out the top 12, followed by Nat Johnson, Ethan Weldon, Jacob Bashler, Noah Curtis, Max Ewell, Ethan Woodward. The top 20 completed by George Clark and Harley Musk, Luca Ballack, Aryan Nayar, Luca Narroway, Knight Measures, and then Finley Lyons at the back. John Ratcliffe, let's go racing.
Let's do it then. We've had a bit of time off, but we're straight back into it. And what a move there from the 88. Archie Lovett pulling over to the inside and looking to try and take second place, but no, has to feed back into third. I think it is still George Edgar leading the way up into the spoon section at the top of the circuit. Look how slidey it is. They head through the right-hander. Is anyone going to lose it under the brakes? No, they're all dealing with the conditions fantastically. Lots of them following 2 by 2 through that section as they head over the crest and then down the hill, as we were saying earlier. This can catch drivers out that downhill braking zone. The first time of asking for these drivers in these properly wet conditions this afternoon, but they've all managed to make it through.
Exactly. First things first, all credit. 22 years ago when this circuit was designed, whoever did the drainage for this circuit, take a bow, son, because look at that. I mean, the amount of water we had and the track, oh, it's a side-by-side moment there. The track is obviously very wet, but you can't see any standing water. That allows us to go racing safely, although the drivers want to stay off some of those sawtooth curbs because they do retain water. End of lap number 1. Jesse Phillips getting a penalty, a 5-second penalty for Jesse Phillips. That is your race leader. Now that's thrown another cat amongst the pigeons and a warning for George Edgar. So one of the top, the race leader's got a penalty and the driver in fourth on a warning already.
Yeah, your pole sitter down to fourth didn't have as good of a start. I think Jesse Phillips actually got the right at the start, and I was confusing the two, so it was a brilliant start to this race for Jesse Phillips, but not an ideal second lap as he gets that penalty. There's a move, though, the 54 losing out, tries to go up and under, though, and that door is closed. Was that the 16? It was of Aaron Richardson who closed the door there and takes the position as we watch them head down Devil's Elbow once again. Again, the drivers learning from those seniors earlier on, clattering the curbs as they go through, trying to get as much grip as they can through the corners and get the power down as early as possible, heading through that first turn and all the way up the Dragon Straight.
Here we go then, the field spreading out understandably in the conditions. May not see as much nose to tail train pushing and shoving as we would normally do. Sideways into Spoon Curve, and number 54 Will Green as he holds on to 5th position on the road. That's 4th place. So for you watching at home, Jesse Phillips, kart number 26, has a 5-second penalty. His task now is to try and drive away as much as possible. He's got more of a
wide.
chance, 3 wide as we go through compression corner. Phillips has more of a chance of getting away in these conditions. Look at those.
Oh, spin.
Oh,
15's
dear.
round.
That is the number 15 of Nat Johnson.
Yeah, Nat Johnson, just a little bit of spin there. As soon as you start to lose that rear end, it's so difficult to catch it in these conditions, especially with these lesser powered karts of the Water Swifts. And he's gone round and he's going to lose a lot of positions. As you say, they were spreading out a bit, but not enough for him to not lose a number of positions there from that little spin. But at least he continues, and he's got a lot of time left in this race to try and catch those positions back up. Just less than 9 minutes left to go in this one. And of course, just to remind you, this race lessened in length from 15 minutes to 12.
Yes, indeed. Now, Archie Lovett is chasing Jesse Phillips around. Now, Archie Lovett is in a prime position. What does Jesse Phillips do? So, you're in Jesse Phillips' shoes. There is a digital display board that Motorsport-Timing puts out over the thing. Oh, a 5-second penalty for George Edgar as well. So we don't know what it was for. There was a little bit of door handling on the first lap. So the drivers in first and third both have penalties. Archie Lovett thinking, is it Christmas yet? Here goes Archie Lovett for the race lead on the road, as well as after penalties have been implied, Lovett leads for Oliver Rowland Motorsport.
Really nice move there from the 88 of Archie Lovett, getting it done under brakes, as we saw a couple of drivers getting super slidey in that corner. Grip is at a premium there at the top of the hill, but he's got it done really nicely weighted under brakes. But look at that, the 17 of George Edgar is already right with them. But as you say, Jesse Phillips and George Edgar both with a penalty here. They need to try and get ahead of Archie Lovett and pull away themselves if they want to get on the podium by the end of this race. It's going to be a seriously tall order though, as Archie Lovett is looking very fast. And just behind them, Jarlath Sayer, Will Green, Canish Rao, Aaron Richardson as well, Max Endicott, loads of drivers right there behind to pick up the scraps if it all goes wrong for the drivers ahead.
Well, Archie Lovett, I'm going to play, in a minute, I'm going to play devil's advocate. So, Jesse Phillips and George Edgar have got their Fusion Motorsport teammate, Jarlath Sayer, in 4th place. If Jesse Phillips and George Edgar work together and try and push Archie Lovett away, they can salvage a top 5 finish, top 10 finish for themselves. If they try and drag Archie Lovett into an all-out battle, that means they cost themselves positions. They won't be salvaging a top 10 finish, but it might give their teammate Jarlath Sayer a chance to steal a victory. What do you do? Team or self? Team or self? Who knows? We're going to find out in the next 6.5 minutes as the battles continue further down the order. That is the number 28, the number 11, and the number 89 battling away. Luca Ballack in the 28, Jacob Bashler, the Austrian MDL Motorsport driver in 89, and Ian Nair for Toby George Motorsport. Ian's got Alicia Barrett mechanicking for her. Great driver back in the day, Alicia Barrett. Now top-level mechanic.
That was a lovely move there from Canish Rao up into 5th place, past Will Green there before they even got to the braking zone up at Spoon. Really nice bit of battling there between these two over 5th position. And it does go the way of Canish Rao for now. Anyway, getting really slidey on the exit there. Got to watch out not only for the grass on the exit, but also those white lines. They can get very slippery when it gets wet like this. Drop a wheel on that as you start braking, and you're going to be round before you even know it.
Nigel Mansell lost the 1984 Monaco Grand Prix in these conditions because he touched a white line. Simple as that. There's the number 15 Kart making a move. That's Nat Johnson a little bit further back. We saw Nat spin earlier on. He's trying to fight his way back up the order. Now, Finley Line started dead last the field. He's gained 4 places. Here's a battle, and here are 2 drivers fighting 3 wide in the rain.
Oh my goodness, the 18 nearly got both of them there, didn't he? What
Max
a move.
Endicott,
Max Endicott tries it, but the 16 just about gets back through to Aaron Richardson, retaking his 6th position there and dropping Will Green to the back of this little pack down into 8th now. And a great little scrap between these 3. And it's all kicking off throughout this pack. There's little packs forming, isn't there, of 3 or 4 karts just battling throughout this one. And I mean, the fact that they can race side by side through this amazing track in these treacherous conditions is brilliant to see. But just less than 5 minutes left to go here, and it has officially stopped raining now.
Incredible.
I mean, during the middle of that storm, I didn't think it could ever stop raining, but it has.
We've gone from thinking we got a half an hour delay then we're thinking we're going to probably have to abandon the race meeting to be back on track on a drying circuit. And of course, the mechanics of the race, we've still got both TKM finals and KZ2 to go, as well as Junior X30. There's now going to be mechanics thinking, is it going to be slicks for our final? Who knows? Anything can happen. John Ratcliffe's got the meteorological service up, but you know what? The rain is moving away from us. Anything can happen in the Wera Tools Motorsport UK British Karting Championship. Archie Lovett continues to lead. Jesse Phillips and George Edgar are second and third on the road. When you add a 5-second penalty to both those drivers, that pushes them back to 8th and 9th.
Just looking at the weather forecast, at the tracker, I'm going to assume, from what I'm looking at here, around 40 minutes until we'll see a bit more rain here at GYG.
Okay, set your clocks, ladies and gentlemen. So Phillips and Edgar closing in once again on Archie Lovett. Jarlath Sayer runs in 4th position. At the moment, he's on course for his first ever British Championship podium, which will be 2nd position. Kanish Grau runs 5th. He is on course for, I believe, would be his first British Championship podium. But Phillips and Edgar, if they drag Lovett into a scrap that opens the door for their Fusion teammate Jarlath Sayer to snatch a win. Lovett needs to be aware of this, and he needs to act accordingly. Oh, look at the contact there. That is the number 11 of Iron Naya, who is now up into 16th position. Nearest Welsh, best placed Welshman, Archie Owen, in 18th place. And all 25 drivers, John, still running.
Somehow, all 25 drivers still running. It's so impressive that they're able to just keep it on the black stuff here. Fantastic racing going on. Also, Walmid in the chat just reminding us as well, of course, don't head over now. You don't want to miss this fantastic racing, but after this stream, you can go back and watch the Club 100s at Wilton Mill on the Alpha Live channel, and it seems from his comment that the weather's pretty similar, and they're all on slick tyres, so that must be very interesting. I'm definitely checking that out later tonight.
Fair enough. People asking about Mateo Garcia. You can watch this back. He was in the previous race to this, fans of Mexico. But don't tune out. Stay tuned. This is what Mateo Garcia will graduate into perhaps next season. So you can see some of his future rivals in this. And again, thank you to all our Mexican viewers, of which there are literally hundreds and thousands today.
How slidey those drivers are at the final corner as they get on that exit curb. Of course, they've still got a bit of steering lock as they're trying to get the power on, somehow holding the slide. And here's a move down the inside for the number 11. Gets it done once again through the right-hander before we head into Spoon. That was a lovely move from Aaron Nayar, just moving himself up into 15th place. I think he got Sukmani Kira there, didn't he? Yes, he did. So Sukmani not having her best race of the day anyway, down a couple of positions from her start, but still heavily battling there, now trying to fend off the pressure from behind. That's Jacob Batchelor trying to get through as well.
Max Ewell, you're watching in the Optima performance, number 75. He is up into P13. So, yeah, the Optima team, 2nd year in the championship for Optima, and Max Ewell on course for what would be one of his best results. There is Bashler chasing hard behind Sukmani Kira in cart number 44. The young lady got a podium last time out. It's not going to be a podium this time. Could potentially be a top 10 finish. Now, up at the front, Lovett leads by just 0.2 of a second over Phillips and Edgar. Jarlath Sayer is 3 seconds back, so time is ticking away for Edgar and Phillips to help Jarlath Sayer into a winning position, but Jarlath still potentially on the podium. Phillips and Edgar, with their 5-second penalties, they would now only drop to 5th and 6th.
Good managing of that, knowing you've got a penalty and trying to work together out in front and push ahead to gain those positions off the penalty, as you say.
Well, Kanish Grau, who is currently 5th on the road, is 4 seconds behind the 26 of Phillips and the 17 of Edgar. They've chosen they chose to work with the race leader, and maybe it could get one of them onto the podium. There's the number 16 car of Aaron Richardson. Aaron Richardson and Kanish Grau, they at the moment are 3rd and 4th on adjusted time. But the more they battle, the more of opportunity comes to Phillips the 26 and Edgar in the 17 as the clock strikes 0, John.
Yeah, there's nearly 5 seconds between them now, isn't it, between Richardson and Phillips and Edgar. As we go on to the final lap of the race, it's going to have to be one very good lap from Jesse Phillips and George Edgar to just squeeze that extra few tenths, half of a second out there to gain those extra couple of positions after penalties are applied. But Archie Lover out in the lead sets a new fastest lap of the race, a 53.47 for kart number 88. It doesn't matter that he's out now 6-7 tenths in the lead. He's still pushing as hard as he can, gets that fastest lap, and is trying to bring the kart home. And somehow, as you said earlier, we've still got so many drivers in the race. A couple of drivers who lost, Archie Owen and Noah Curtis, but lots of drivers keeping it on the black stuff and continuing to the end of the race here. Archie Lover leading us through sector number 3 now. Jesse Phillips and George Edgar just in behind after a calamitous opening couple of laps with George. Fought back through to third really nicely. Jesse Phillips had a great start up to the lead, but couldn't hold on to it as Archie Phillips came through, took the lead and takes the win of the race then in our Water Swift final here for event number 3 of the British Kart Championships. Jesse Phillips second on the road, George Edgar third on the road, but where are they going to end up after penalties?
Well, 2 things, John. Archie Lovett wins. Oliver Rowland Motorsport are back. Secondly, Jesse Phillips and Aaron Richardson are tied for third position. 0.57 seconds the difference between Jesse Phillips and 5.57 seconds the difference between Aaron Richardson. Ian Rogers, Motorsport-Timing, will have to split that somehow. The technology goes down to thousandths of a second. Motorsport UK regulations only allows us to time to 100th of a second. But when Jesse Phillips has a 5-second penalty applied, he is tied for third place on the road with Aaron Richardson. Jarlath Sayer takes second position. Welcome to the podium, Archie. Welcome to the winner's circle, Archie Lovett. Welcome to the podium, Jarlath Sayer. Max Endicott comes home 6th place on the road. I think he will be 5th after penalty supply. I think George Edgar will take 5th position. Kanish Grau will finish in 7th. Will Green 8th, Ethan Woodward 9th, and Harley Musk rounds out the top 10. Teddy J. Porter, Jensen Ackerman, Max Ewell, and Aryan Nayar in 14th. Luca Holmes-Balak will round out the top 15. Then it is Slovenia's Luca Holmes-Balak, Austria's Jacob Bashler, Sukmani Kira, Nat Johnson, great recovery for Nat, Luca Narroway, Finley Lines salvaged the top 20 from a disappointing weekend. And on the subject of Finley Lines, we hope that everybody at TCR UK is okay. Finley's parents run the TCR UK Championship. There was a bit of an incident with their awning yesterday. We hope everybody at TCR UK is absolutely fine. You can mend awnings and Ford Fiestas. You can't mend people. There we go. Oh.
Wow.
And breathe.
Well, it looks to have stopped the rain again, but there we go. We've said that about 3 times today, haven't we? And then suddenly a new storm has come in to put us back underwater. I feel like we're in Atlantis at the moment, not Wales.
Yeah, often the comparison's been made between the two.
Is that where they think it was situated, somewhere in Wales?
On a wet Wednesday in Prestatyn, it can be quite...
The lost city of Swansea.
The lost... I'm from Cardiff. All I can say is, I wish. Anthony Jordan, very quickly, is in the pit lane.
Lovely. Well, what a race that was. And again, very interesting conditions. A slight delay to the start of that one, but what a race result. Archie, you take away a race win on that one. ORM back on top.
We had a delay at the start, and I've never been to this track in wet, so... Well, I won. I had a really good start. I got second position and I caught Jesse and overtook him.
Yeah, mate, well, it was a solid drive, so congratulations on that one. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Grice, Callum and Ollie, and ORM, and that's it.
Well, Archie, congratulations. Well done. Solid win.
Thank you.
Excellent. Let's chat to our second place driver. Let's bring in Jesse Phillips. Now, he was second on track, but I'm not sure about any... he did, I think, get a 5-second time penalty in that one. Jesse, can we have a quick chat? Do you want to come on over? Come on over. So you finished second on the road, but I think, was there a 5-second time penalty in the race? Yeah, mate, what happened?
So I think I got a jump start from P2, but I got 5-second penalty, finished second. But I think it was the exact same between me and Richardson, so I don't know if I've got third or fourth yet. I think I might have got fourth.
Yeah, we're not too sure either. I'm going to have to wait to find out that one. But, mate, still, it was a solid drive. Tricky conditions anyway, but well done.
Thank you.
Excellent. Right, let's chat to who we think is third place. I'm not too sure. To George, I think it could be you on this one. George, now you're either... I think you actually are second place in this one because I think Jesse got the 5-second penalty. So you finished P2, I believe. But what a tough race out there.
Yeah, it was a really tough race, obviously. Me, Jesse and Archie managed to pull away at the quite early on, maybe 2 or 3 minutes into the race, and then the race was quite settled from there. No one was really close enough to do any overtaking or anything, so yeah.
Very challenging conditions. What did you think at the start of it? Did you want to go out when it was raining, or did you were you glad that it stopped raining when you went out?
Yeah, I think it would have maybe made it a bit more exciting if we'd been out when it was raining, but still good.
You'll have to get your flippers out then instead of your kart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mate, congratulations. I believe P2, so yeah, well done. We'll see you on the podium a little bit later on.
Thank you.
Excellent. Right, now let's chat to, I think, Jarlath, Sarah, Aaron Richardson. I'm not too sure. Aaron, do you want to come over here for us, please, mate? You're not on it? You don't think so? Right, okay. You're not Aaron, sorry. Aaron, there you are, sorry. You're Jarlath, right, okay, so Jarlath, again, it's confusion on this one because the times were identical. We have no idea who was actually first, second or third. Well, we know who was first, but yeah. Well, potential podium here. How do you, what sort of race was that?
I mean, it was pretty good. The start was okay, and yeah, it was just really good. I think, yeah.
Yeah. Well, very interesting out there. The rain certainly came down at the wrong time, but yeah, was it a race that you enjoyed though still?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I really liked the conditions, and I really liked the wet, so yeah, pretty good.
Well, excellent stuff. Well, hopefully it rains at all the rounds then for you, so you can enjoy all of them. Anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank my mum, my dad, Fusion Motorsport, Johnny Shocks, and Apex Hydration.
Well, congratulations, mate. Well done. You finished somewhere in the top 3. We're not sure where yet.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll find that out. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, there you go. That's probably the hardest set of interviews I've ever had to do because I don't know where anyone finished in that one. We'll find out later on when you see the podium.
Now we move on to the unrestricted Water Swift class. 25 drivers in total. This race full of drama. Some penalties for some of the front runners, but in the wet conditions, some of those front runners came back to even still stand on the podium, including our next driver, last year's British champion, representing Fusion Motorsport, Jesse Phillips. So Jesse takes third place. Now on to second place, and by far and away this next driver is having a breakout 2023 season, finishing in P2, once again representing Fusion Motorsport on the podium for the first time, Jarlath Sayer. And it's worth, last year in 2022, Jarlath and his family put on a charity karting event at Wilton Mill, raising thousands of pounds for, I believe, the children of Ukraine. So well done, doing a lot of good work for others, as well as a burgeoning career for himself, Jarlath Sayer. But so far, one team on the comeback trail in 2023 in more ways than one is our next team. Our next driver won the Waterswift class. I believe it's his first win in this class, representing the rejuvenated Oliver Rowland Motorsport team. It's Archie Lover, and the winning mechanic is Dad Mark. Let's see if Mark can look slightly less awkward than Gary Brooks wearing the winning mechanics medal. And I have to say, so Waterswift, it's always great to have more than one team up at the front of the field. It's great, it's only good for the sport. And Oliver Rowland Motorsport and Fusion Motorsport once again sharing the podium. Congratulations, Waterswift Unrestricted. Congratulations.